Over the last couple of weeks, we've looked at several different elements from the Pokemon world. Singles that are making some great movement, Pokemon singles that are also great to send out for grading, as well as sealed product that are both good for holding long term as well as opening. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the singles that are promo cards, promo singles from the Scarlet and Violet era that are having some crazy movement at the moment. Let's dive in. Heading over to Pokedata.io, and the first card that we're going to be looking at today is one of my favorite, the Mewtwo promo card, the promo card that comes in the UPCs from the Pokemon 151 UPC, and of course this card is not available in the Pokemon 151 set itself. However, it was available in the Japanese variant, but this one over here is making some crazy movement over the last few months. So if we look here, just in the summer, it was going for around $36, which is okay. You know, it's been out for a while now. Sure, 36 bucks is fine, but just a month later, it went up to $60. And then now we're at the $70 mark, about 69, call it $70 here, which is fantastic to see. I mean, this card is making huge movements, and these are US dollar prices. So if we're going for around $70 US for this promo card, we're looking at around $100, $110 for a raw version of this in Canadian. $110 Canadian for this promo card, which, I mean, I personally have about 6 or 7 of these because I've opened quite a few UPCs. And now talking about the grading component of it, because I haven't even touched on it yet, PSA 10 is going for $737, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them, if not at least half, are well-centered. My promo cards from the UPC were pretty good, both the Mewtwo and the Mew, which we'll be highlighting later today, the Mewtwo, but $737 for a PSA 10 promo Mew from the Pokemon 151 UPC, wow. Just wow. Population 8,645 as well. It's been graded quite a bit. As you can see here, the PSA 9, there's about 20,000 of those at $125 a piece, which is also not too bad. You know, at least double the price for a PSA 9 from a raw copy, and that's US dollars, of course, that we're talking about here, 125 US, which is great because again, usually when we look at cards that are a PSA 9, they tend to be about $5 to $10, give or take. Basically the same price as the TCG player price, but here we've got some good prices at the PSA 9 level, which is great to see for this Mew EX, because of course we do have the centering issues with these cards. Oftentimes we see a lot of the promo cards are way off center. Again, I know that there's a couple of them in my collection that are also off center. Again, I've got about 6 or 7 of these, so for sure 2 or 3 of them may be well cut, but then the other half is not worth sending for grading. Again, that's just my take on it, and it's a good one to send for grading. And you know what? It may not be a bad time to also offload this card if you have quite a few of them, that is, and you know, maybe get some other products. So this is a good one right here. Just wanted to showcase this card. It's having some great movement right now, and you know what? Who knows where this will be at the end of the year? Maybe it will crack 100 US. Maybe it won't. We'll see. And specifically for the Mew EX, I did want to have a quick look on eBay to see the recent sales, because that $700 price is quite up there. And we can see here $1,020 Canadian, which is roughly around $700 US here, it's accurate. And this was on September 19th, a couple days ago. So, I mean, it's actually going for that price. And here we got another one for $886. Then we got a Charizard that just slipped in there. And then we got a $1,100 one here, another one on September 18th. Again, Mew at a PSA 10. And then another one here for $880. So we're looking at roughly those prices. Again, give or take between $900 to about $1,100 Canadian. But again, which sometimes is a deal if you look at it from a $700 US perspective. But if you're looking at anywhere above $1,000, it's about the price of what it's actually going for. So in reality, it's true. It is what it is. It's going for around $1,000 Canadian for this Mew, which is quite insane. And as I mentioned, we're going to have a quick look at the Mewtwo as well. So again, this Mewtwo comes in the same box as the UPC of the Mew, which is really cool. Actually, you get the Mew and the Mewtwo promo cards in the one box, and you know, just these 2 cards alone already more or less make up the price of the UPC when it was MSRP at Costco. Again, you were able to pick this one up just last fall at Costco for roughly between $120 to $130 Canadian, which is about $100 US. So I mean, these 2 cards alone make up the price of that UPC, which is crazy. It's crazy to see, but obviously that UPC is now over $500 from what I looked at last time. So again, not really a comparable in the end of the day here. PSA 10 going for $550 as well, 5,765 graded in a PSA 10. And then we got another 11,000 or 10,930 in a PSA 9. So, and again, the PSA 9, not bad of a price here, $78.53. Another one of those cards that is actually doing okay in a PSA 9, because oftentimes the PSA 9s, as I mentioned earlier, they don't do as well. But we can look at the raw price here as well with this Mewtwo. Around July, we're around $23, and then again, we went up to about $30 in August, and now we are close to that $40 mark. We did actually crack $40 at one point here, September 13th, but now we've trickled down a bit to $38.28. But call it about $40 here for this card. Also, fantastic movement on this Mewtwo. And again, if you have several Mews, you'll probably have several Mewtwo's because, as I said, it comes in the same box. Another good one to send out for getting, you're getting over 10 times its value here if it does get a PSA 10, which is fantastic to see with this Mewtwo. Another great promo card. And again, we'll probably see this one crack that $50 mark as well if the trend continues upwards for these promo cards. Next up, we have Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, the Pokemon Center exclusive, and this one is one of my favorite promo cards from the Scarlet and Violet era, just because I love Team Rocket and I love the whole concept of this. And there are several other Pokemon in this card. I've talked about it quite a few times, and I actually recently picked this one up at about $80 Canadian, so I'm quite happy to see that it's at $136 US right now. It's amazing, and we can look at this right over here. So just looking at the price of this card in the middle of August, it was about $69. Then when we got to the beginning of September, we're at $77, and now just midway through September, we're at $136. This is huge. This card is just climbing in. Of course, there's a lot of talk about the Destined Rivals set being the set of the era, the Evolving Skies of the era, if you want to call it that. And you know what? I kind of agree with that because, you know, anything that has to do with Team Rocket is fantastic. Of course, there's probably going to be more of this coming out. It's only been out for a couple months. You know, we'll probably see more booster boxes, more ETBs, loose packs that will be released of this product. So maybe the price will come down a little bit, but ultimately at one point, you know, the Team Rocket set, Destined Rivals, this promo card itself, they're all going to just continue to go up. But of course, there will be some times where we'll see it go down a little bit. The card market says here it's $6.93, which is quite random. PSA 10 for this one over here is $748.83. Another banger here, another huge price tag here for this PSA 10. And then a PSA 9 is $154. So this is the first one we're seeing here that is not doing as well from a PSA 9 perspective in comparison to that Mewtwo and Mew that we looked at earlier. Next up is Kingdra EX. Now this card released during the Shrouded Fable era. Of course, that was not one of the best sets of the era. It was one of the worst sets. But this promo card is saying the opposite. It is actually one of the best cards from that era, and unfortunately it's not from Shrouded Fable, it's one of the promo cards, and it's going for $73.74. I remember picking up the box of this, which came with about 4 or 5 packs of Shrouded Fable, for $28. $28, and this is $28 Canadian, which means that that was probably about $20 US. That was right before Pokemon decided to go completely mental when it came to prices and investing and all these kind of things, because that was when you could still pick up booster boxes for around $150 Canadian. And now forget that doesn't exist. But anyways, this one over here, $73.74, great movement on it. So we can see here it was around $39 in the middle of July. Then in August, we saw a huge spike. We got up to $69, and this is where it had that spike, around the middle of August. And now it's kind of been around the same $70, and we're starting to see it start to climb up here again. So we were at $66, now we're actually at $75. So we are starting to see this card climb up even more here. PSA 10 going for $361, not bad. PSA 9, $97. It's good to see that the PSA 9 is a little bit more expensive than the raw version. And the reason why I'm saying that, of course, is because we've seen a lot of cards which are a PSA 9 worth less than what the raw copy is, which is quite crazy in my opinion. But here we go, the Kingdra EX, honestly one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite promos as well from the Scarlet and Violet era. I actually like this one a lot more than the Greninja, and we're going to take a look at that one right now. And here it is, the Greninja EX, and between the Greninja EX and the Kingdra EX, the Kingdra takes the crown for me. I mean, just everything about the artwork with the moon and all that fun stuff in the background, it's really nice. But this one is also doing really well. $63.96 for a raw copy. Again, just at the tail end of June, beginning of July here, we were at $40-ish, and now again, same thing, about $58 in the end of August, and we've climbed up again here to about $63 in the middle of September, which is good to see for this promo card. Again, another promo card from the Shrouded Fable era as well, and a really nice one. And again, same thing, I was able to pick this one up for $28 as well, with about 4 or 5 booster packs, which of course doesn't exist anymore. PSA 9, $76, so it's slightly higher than, so again, a little bit higher than the TCG player price, which is great to see. But generally speaking, a decent card as well. And of course, there's a couple of Greninja EX SIRs here that we have, and this is another nice one over here. and moving up as well. Of course, there's quite a few promo cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. All the ETBs had some sort of promo card. Of course, there's the regular variant as well as the Pokemon Center version as well. But of course, it is difficult to look at all of them. And the last one we're going to look at today is the Charmander Pokemon Center one, because this one over here, the Obsidian Flames Charmander promo card, is going nuts. Looking at the price here, we're at $147 just at the end of August. And now we're at $242. We've climbed up $100 over the last month. Like, that is crazy. $142 to about $243. It is insane to see this Charmander promo card, which is quite crazy. The Pokemon Center Charmander, and even the regular version of this card, the non-Pokemon Center stamp, also doing really well. I believe it's around $30 to $40 the last time I looked at it. The PSA 10 for the Pokemon Center Charmander stamped card is $3,150. One of the most expensive PSA 10 promo cards that you are going to see from the Scarlet and Violet era, and the population is very low, 616. Even at PSA 9, 2,800. PSA 8, 1,848. It's crazy to see. And the PSA 9 is actually over $100 more than what the TCG player price is, which is another great thing to see, because the promo cards are really doing a great job for the most part when it comes to PSA 9 at being a little bit more pricier than the TCG player price, which is what it should be, and that should be the reality of it. But here's the Charmander promo card. We've talked about it quite a few times, and we just continue to see it drive up. And I don't know where the limit, I don't know where the end is for this Charmander, and I don't know where the end is for Pokemon in general, because we talked about bubbles bursting and all that, and yeah, we've had some small declines here and there, or corrections if you want to call it that, but it just continues. It just continues to go, and it's unfortunate for those of you who just want to collect some cards and play the game, because it's getting really expensive out there. And even for myself, I mean, I've cut back quite a bit when it comes to opening up Pokemon packs and boxes and all that, and even buying ETBs and whatnot. I used to buy cases of this stuff, and now, you know, to get half a case, you're paying more than what it was for a full case, which is unfortunate. So a lot of cutback for myself as well, but I don't want to go off topic here. The point is the Pokemon Center Charmander card is continuing to rise, and it is fantastic to see. And if you have this card in your collection and it's well centered, it's a good one to send out as well. So that was a quick look at a handful of promo cards from the Scarlet and Violet era. They are exploding in price. Like I'm talking about, we're seeing some crazy movement across the board. And there are several other promo cards that we haven't even touched on, such as the Snorlax promo card from Pokemon 151, as well as the Van Gogh Pikachu. And those are also making some big movements. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this movement of these promo cards, and if we're going to continue to see this movement with these promo cards, and if you'll be sending any of these out for grading as well, let me know. And if you guys got this far in the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. My name's TRV, you guys are the greatest, and we'll see you next time.